Close your eyes and imagine a world where you're no longer a victim of circumstances, where emotional turbulence doesn't control you, and where every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. This isn't a fantasy, this is the profound promise of Stoic philosophy. My journey into Stoicism began not in a classroom, but in a moment of complete personal crisis. Like many of you, I found myself drowning in anxiety, constantly reactive to external events, feeling like life was happening to me rather than me happening to life. And then I discovered these ancient principles, not as dusty philosophical concepts, but as a live, breathing system of psychological transformation. Before we dive deep, let's understand the roots of Stoicism. This wasn't a philosophy developed in ivory towers, but by real people facing real challenges. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who could have lived a life of absolute luxury, instead spent his nights writing meditations about human nature. Epictetus, who began his life as a slave, developed principles of personal freedom that would revolutionize human understanding of psychology and personal agency. Stoicism emerged in ancient Greece around 300 BCE, founded by Zeno of Citium. But it wasn't just a philosophical school, it was a practical manual for living. These were not theoreticians, but practitioners who believed that philosophy must be lived, not just discussed. Principle number 1. Mastering the art of control. Most humans live in a constant state of psychological warfare with themselves. We expend tremendous energy trying to control the uncontrollable, while neglecting the one domain where we have absolute power, our internal response. Let me break this down scientifically. Our brain's limbic system is constantly scanning for threats, a remnant of our evolutionary survival mechanism. This system doesn't distinguish between a physical threat and a social media comment. Everything triggers a stress response. Stoicism provides a sophisticated neural reprogramming technique. Take a moment and categorize your current life stressors. Directly controllable, your actions, thoughts, reactions. Indirectly controllable, your efforts and input. Uncontrollable, external events, other people's behaviors. Your mental health depends on where you allocate your cognitive resources. Every time you worry about something outside your control, you're essentially giving away your power. Principle 2. Memento Mori, the transformative power of mortality awareness. Memento Mori translates to remember that you will die. But this isn't a morbid concept. It's the most liberating philosophical principle you'll ever encounter. Neurologically, awareness of our finite existence triggers a fascinating psychological phenomenon called mortality salience. It forces our brain to prioritize, to become brutally honest about what truly matters. Consider the mathematical reality of your existence. Average human lifespan, approximately 28,000 days. Average working years, around 4,000 days. Average quality productive hours per day, maybe 3 to 4 hours. These aren't just numbers, they're a wake-up call. Every moment you spend in unnecessary stress, fear, or inaction is a moment you'll never recover. Principle 3. The dichotomy of control. Precise psychological boundaries. We've touched on control, but let's dive deeper into the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control, a principle so powerful it can fundamentally rewire your psychological operating system. Think of this principle as building a psychological immune system. Just like your physical body has mechanisms to distinguish between what belongs and what's foreign, your mind needs similar boundaries. What you control, your judgments, your reactions, your effort, your attitude, your responses. What you cannot control, external events, other people's actions, global circumstances, past events, random occurrences. Principle 4. Negative visualization, the counterintuitive path to gratitude. Most self-help philosophies tell you to think positively. Stoicism offers something radically different: deliberate negative visualization. By mentally rehearsing potential challenges, you're not creating anxiety, you're building psychological resilience. This technique, known in modern psychology as defensive pessimism, allows your brain to reduce unexpected emotional shock, develop strategic contingency plans, cultivate deep, authentic gratitude. Principle M5. Amor fati, radical acceptance as a superpower. Amor fati means love of fate, but it's far more than passive acceptance. It's an active, radical embrace of whatever life presents. 4. Voluntary discomfort, the path of relational growth. The Stoics understood that growth happens outside our comfort zone. In relationships, this means voluntarily embracing challenging conversations, sitting with uncomfortable emotions, and viewing conflicts as opportunities for deeper understanding. When disagreements arise, instead of defensive walls, build bridges of curiosity. Ask, what can I learn here? How can this challenge help me grow? This transforms conflicts from battlegrounds of ego into sacred spaces of mutual evolution. The Stoics understood that growth happens outside our comfort zone. In relationships, this means voluntarily embracing challenging conversations, sitting with uncomfortable emotions, and viewing conflicts as opportunities for deeper understanding. When disagreements arise, instead of defensive walls, build bridges of curiosity. Ask, what can I learn here? How can this challenge help me grow? This transforms conflicts from battlegrounds of ego into sacred spaces of mutual evolution. Practical transformation requires intentional practice. Every evening, dedicate 10 minutes to reflection. Ask yourself, how did I maintain my emotional center today? Where did I compromise my values? What can I learn from today's interactions? This simple practice becomes a compass, guiding you towards emotional independence and authentic connection. By embracing these principles, you're not just improving a relationship, you're starting a relational revolution. You're creating partnerships characterized by mutual respect, authentic connection, individual growth, emotional stability, and true, deep partnership. This journey is not about perfection. It's about progress, about choosing, every single day, to love from a place of strength rather than need. Are you ready to unbreak yourself, to love without losing your soul? If this journey of emotional independence has sparked something inside you, if you felt that electric moment of recognition, that deep understanding that love doesn't mean losing yourself, then I need you to take 3 powerful actions right now. First, smash that subscribe button. But this isn't just about subscribing to a channel. This is about joining a community of warriors who are rewriting the rules of love and relationships. Every subscribe is a declaration. I choose to love with wisdom, with strength, with my whole self intact. Drop a comment below that speaks to your heart. What moment in this video hit you hardest? Was it about reclaiming your identity, understanding emotional boundaries? Share your breakthrough. Your story isn't just a comment. It's a lifeline that might save someone else's relationship, someone else's sense of self. Hit that share button like your relationships depend on it, because they do. Tag that friend who's struggling, that loved one who's lost themselves in love. Be the beacon that shows them there's another way to connect, to love, to exist in a relationship. Activate those notifications. Because this channel, it's not just content, it's a movement, a revolution of conscious, empowered love. And for those hungry for more, check out the links in the description. Free guides, exclusive content, deep dive resources that will transform how you love. One click, one comment, one share. Are you ready to unbreak yourself? Let's do this.